phenomenal class. Chris and Dan and their employees have a lot to give, a lot to say. Thank you for having me. A little background on myself. I am, I'm 27. I am from Texas. I'm moving to Dallas, Texas pretty soon, but I'm excited about that. I graduated college with a bachelor's in science, biomedical science, minor in chemistry. Felt like that was important. But I was pre-med, so I didn't know. Honestly, my GPA wasn't quite competitive enough to compete with medical school students. I knew I would need to at least get a master's or something like that. And I was ready to make money, right? I was ready to get out there. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to dedicate my entire next 8 years to med school. So I guess this was about three and a half years ago. And then so right before I graduated, I started just doing some soul searching, probably about 3 months before graduating. And then I came across some people. I was just networking, right? Like, hey, what do you guys do? What should I do? I have a science degree. I don't know what I'm going to do. And these ladies that I knew, they were senior CRAs. They were friends of family members. And I learned what they did, and I was like, man, that sounds right up my alley. Like, I can get out there, dress like a professional, go to these hospitals. I love science, and then monitor this, material for drugs and devices. I had no idea what it was. So I sought out a program because I knew, once I knew what I kind of wanted to do, which was a CRA, I started looking up how do I get hired. And then I soon realized, oh, man, I'm going to need experience. Because, yes, you need experience in this field. Now, I'll help you along the way. If you've got light experience, Dan and I and whoever can help you mix your skills together so that you're more approachable, you look better on paper. But yeah, so I just did a program. I did a volunteering thing. I became a study coordinator. 6 months after becoming a study coordinator, I felt pretty advanced and volunteered with senior CRAs. Next thing you know, I was applying to CRA positions, and 7 months later, I got hired. And now I am a CRA 1. I work for a smaller, mid-sized company out of Texas. We are global. We have global partnerships, but we mainly focus on now. We have studies with bone marrow transplants and blood disorders. So it's kind of crazy because I thought, okay, I'll start out with maybe dermatology study, maybe cardiology, definitely not cancer, because cancer is a beast in its own. Like the material, the documents that you have to know, the assessments you have to know in cancer are so much more, and that's why you get paid more when you're monitoring cancer studies, because it's going to be more time consuming and involve more. So with that being said, real quick, if you can jump on what Dan is offering here, remote and on-site monitoring with oncology, wow, guys, wow, take advantage of that. If you do not take advantage of that, you're doing the wrong thing. So do that. And just while we're here, I think he offers, I'm not sure, 7 days on site, 5 days on site. You put that on your resume, maybe consider putting, instead of 5 days, put the hours that you put into it. It'll just be more approachable. That's just a little side note there. But, so I'm here to motivate you guys. I'm kind of here to tell you how I did it. And I did it through a lot of sweat, tears, and blood. No, seriously, though, first off, I'm going to say you have to be ready for rejection, okay? Don't be sorry about that. Know who you are. Know what you're wanting. Know your end goal. Have a picture of your end goal, and it's going to take every single day to get there. Still to this day, I'll come across people, and they'll look at me and say, wow, you only have 2 years of experience in research, or, as a CRA, and you're over here monitoring oncology. Well, that's true. But at the same time, see, I have confidence in myself and my ability. I did not only just like study with my company that I'm with now, or, prior experience, hands-on experience. I actually took it upon myself to buy a book, the ICH-GCP. That was my first book I bought in clinical research. It's when the revision just became, it was E6R, or what is it? E6R2? Yeah, so it was a revision 2. It just came out when I got in. I took it upon myself to buy that book. Buying that book and reading that book, I think it was like it starts at 312 when it really gets in depth after. That's what you kind of need to know, right? As a clinical researcher, monitor, you don't need to know really about the FDA yet, or the IND, right before that, how you apply to that. Anyways, so yeah, the point to this story here is take it upon yourself to build your own skills, build who you are, build your brand and what you're going to represent, and be confident in yourself. I mean, you wouldn't have came out here and got on the CRA Academy if you didn't know that this was something you wanted to do. And really and truly, guys, when you get out there and you start interviewing, they want to hear that confidence come out of your voice. They want to see that you believe in yourself, and once you believe in yourself, they'll believe in you. It'll be kind of like selling ice to an Eskimo. Real simple. I don't want to talk too much. I know I've been talking 10 minutes. So there are some things, if you have pen and paper, I want you to write these things down. There are going to be some pointers. After this, I will answer questions. I think it's better. It'll give you guys, throw your questions at me. Ask me how I did it, what you want to ask. I'm here for you. But before we do this, I want you to write these things down. First, you need to write down number 1. After we get done talking, do a 6-sentence bio of yourself. Say who you are. Okay, you need to put down your name, what your degree is in. This is going to be kind of, switch it up, make it yourself, but this is me. So what you're passionate about, why you want to be a CRA, why that company needs you, what's going to make you become a CRA, or the best CRA. And then number 6, the 6th sentence, just close it with a thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay? That 6th sentence right there, that's going to be kind of your bio, okay? Go put that on your LinkedIn page. Go make a video of that 6th sentence and blast it all over LinkedIn. Let's get this going, guys. Get confident in yourself. You can do it. Don't ever be embarrassed. Don't ever think that, oh, man, that's a little much. I don't know if I want to do that. Well, hey, you can do it, and it's going to set you apart. All right, second thing you want to put on your list, your resume, your CV. Resume, CV, yeah, they do mean different things, but I like to call it a resume. In our industry, we will call it a CV, a curriculum vitae. But I like to call it a resume. It's just short and sweet, because at your age, you should only have maybe 2 pages, maybe. I'll tell you something about a resume. You got 6 seconds to make it appealing. You got 6 seconds for that person to look at your resume and say yay or nay, okay? And we want yays. So make sure that your resume, show it to your mama, show it to your husband, show it to your wife, show it to your aunt, show it to me or Dan, Chris. Let us do a 6-second check. That means if we look at it and it looks like it's hard to read, that's a nay. We want to look at something that's going to be easy and appealing for number 1, number 2, the second, the third second we're looking at that thing. We want to be able to see, oh, this is a clinical researcher. There you go. Okay, number 3 on the list. This is kind of clever, and I didn't know this. When I first started out on LinkedIn, first off, everybody needs to have a LinkedIn page, okay? LinkedIn is going to be your number 1 networking tool. If you're trying to get a job, you need to network in LinkedIn. I cannot stress that enough. In this industry, especially, you will be doing a lot of networking. I still network on LinkedIn all the time. I'm hired and I network because it does have a lot to know or have a lot to do with who you know and not necessarily what you know, especially in our industry. Okay, so your headline in LinkedIn, all I got to say is do not put seeking for anything. You're not going to be seeking nothing, okay? This is because when job searchers are searching on LinkedIn for their next employee, somebody to fill this position, when they search, they put in, say, 1 or 2 or 3 words that's going to help them find who it is. Well, if you put seeking, that's taking up space, okay? It looks desperate. Long story short, it looks desperate. So what I like to tell people is put something inspiring, put something passionate, put something that's going to set you apart, and make sure that it has clinical research associate in it. Here's an example. If you want to all use this, sure, go ahead, or make it your own. I wrote this down right before this, and I just put passionate CRA professional. Okay, just make sure it doesn't have seeking or looking for opportunities, because you don't want to look jobless. It doesn't look good.
Yes, thank you. That is, I'm very glad you said that, because whenever I see that, I didn't even think about that. But whenever I see seeking clinical research opportunities, it just screams of a lack of experience. And all you guys and gals in this academy are going to have experience. That's why you paid the money for this class, right? So people are not wanting to hire other people that are seeking, jobs. They want people that are already working somewhere else usually, and then they take those people because they don't want to train, right? It's very rare you can find like an entry level position where they're willing to take people on and just train them. I know some of these big CROs have their own little academies, but from what I hear, they're not that good, and it's not that successful for them. So they want people that know what they're at least talking about. So very good advice for leaving out the seeking opportunities. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well
is there any way we can get a sample of the salary resume on Intralink?
No, but even better. So if everyone who passes the class, we do your resume. Okay.
Okay.
You send your CV to Julie, and she will do it. She will put the studies that you're going to be doing. You're going to tweak it. If you come to California, it's even better because I'll do it. And the way I do it, it looks really nice. So that's an extra incentive for people that come to California. I will do
Okay.
your CV for you. And we're not going to have anything about seeking opportunities on there. Trust me. We're going to talk about what you're
Mhm.
doing, not what you're seeking. You need to be doing, not seeking.
Yeah.
Okay. I also understand you have a branch in Maryland. Is there any way people on the East Coast can go to Maryland, South California?
Yeah, we do have a few. Um, we 1 or 2 clinics, actually more than 1 or 2. I think there's 2 or 3 clinics in Maryland that we can set you up with, but I
Okay.
cannot guarantee what kind of studies they'll be giving you. And I know for a fact, almost know for a fact, not oncology. So if you want oncology, I still
Okay.
recommend coming here so we can do the oncology.
Okay. So the best side is to come to California. That's what it is.
The students that come here, I know it's a hassle and it costs more money, but the students that come here do better.
Okay. And when is it? And when is that starting?
It starts whenever you want. You have to email Chris once you pass and get that on the calendar.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Not San Diego, in Los Angeles actually. Los Angeles,
Okay.
greater Los Angeles area.
And that's for how many days?
Monday through Friday.
Monday to Friday. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Victoria, for interrupting, but I like that it's the that you mentioned the not seeking. I hate when I see that, and I never knew how to articulate why.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I saw it off of some woman. She's like a professional resume writer, and she was talking about it. Makes so much sense, huh?
Yeah, that it makes sense because people job employers are looking for people that are doing. Like your activity, the verb that should be a LinkedIn should be anything except seeking, right? It should be like working or putting something on there practical.
Mhm. Yes, thank you for that, Dan. I'm glad you stressed that because it is a stress point. And I just, I want to say, I hope I'm not coming across like I'm screaming at you guys. I'm just trying to get hyped. I'm trying to get everybody hyped.
Yeah, we need to wake people up. Guys, entering the job market in the roaring 20s. Okay, this is the roaring 20s, and the industry is going crazy right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. Who knows how long this great job market is going to last, but it's really good right now. So you guys need to do everything you can to get in right now.
Yeah, and definitely do not wait. Especially after this course, you do not want to wait. You need to jump on it right away. Like even after we get off this phone call, you need to start planning. You need to make sure that your LinkedIn is where it's at. You need to start even if you, but I think a part of this course is that Dan and or his personnel wrap up your resume for you, but you can even start applying the jobs yourself. Definitely not going to hurt. I applied to, I don't remember how many jobs I applied to, everyone, but I can tell you it was over a lot. It was a lot. I don't even know if saying 500 was a lot. It was a lot. I applied to jobs on the daily. I had, LinkedIn. You can utilize LinkedIn Job, which is probably going to be your best bet. You can use other apps called Glassdoor, Jobs. I mean, there's like, I don't know, 10 apps.
ZipRecruiter.
Yeah, ZipRecruiter. Just anything. I mean, Google CROs in your area.
Mhm.
So, I'm gonna continue on this little list I have, and then you guys, it'll be open floor. But so on LinkedIn, you want to add as many friends as you can, and you want to continue to add friends and interact with these friends, and make relationships. Okay, this is kind of when it gets nitpicky. Remember how I said it doesn't have a lot to do with what you know, it's who you know, and that is so true. Okay, so in order to meet people, so people in this industry, build a relationship. One thing that I get a lot is people messaging me, okay? People messaging me, reaching out to me, seeking help. I'll help everybody. I'm a pretty friendly person. But one thing that really gets me going, if I see somebody who is sincere and not just sending me a generic message, I'm more apt to answer them than I am to answer somebody sending me a generic message. In other words, I like people reaching out to me saying, "Hey, Victoria, how are you?" Period. Send that message. Send me a second message. That's fine. It'll get my attention probably more. "Hey, so I'm trying to get into the clinical research industry. I see you're in it. How do you like your job? What do you do?" Even if you already know what they do and who they work for, still, you're building a relationship that's going to help you more. Say, "Hey, here's my cell phone number. Can we talk? When are you free? What's your number?" Get their cell phone number. If you can get their cell phone number, shoot them a text. "Thank you so much for your cell phone number. You're helping me so much. You're such a big inspiration to me." Give them feedback also, compliment them hey, I see that you're a senior CRA. Wow, I want to be you one day. That is so cool. That's so inspiring. Just little things like that, just to build that relationship and kind of get on that personable level with them. It always helps. Get personable. Another thing you can do is blast email your resume, and that's kind of when you get desperate, but we are desperate and beggars can't be choosers, and who knows. And when I say blast email your resume, that means to like people in the industry. You can just say something very quickly. Hey, my name's Victoria. My name's Joe. Here's my resume. I would appreciate it if you would send it along. Thank you. Make sure your resume is really nice too and has your phone number.
We have Victoria, we have a question about LinkedIn actually before we move off of to a different topic. So LinkedIn, they're asking, it doesn't matter if it's a premium LinkedIn account or free.
Good question. So I did both. It's pretty okay for somebody without a job. It's expensive. Okay, it's like what, $60 a month, $50 a month. That's expensive, but it's worth it for at least a month. And when you have it for a month, you go add every CEO, every clinical operations manager, somebody. Go add as many people as you can, because I think you can. It's like kind of like add and do and message whoever. You're no limit, limitless. We'll put it that way. You're limitless, so you have a lot of opportunities. Other than that, it doesn't matter. I think I have like 3,000 friends, and I got that from just adding friends and making friends, right? I was not specific on who I added. I just wanted as many people in the industry to be on my list as possible. I think, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good answer. I would say, LinkedIn Premium is expensive. I have the cheapest plan, which is $60 a month. And what I like is I get every month you get like 15 in-mail credits. So you can message people that are not even your connections, 15 a month. And what's cool about it is if you don't use them all in 1 month, they roll over. So like in my LinkedIn Premium now, I think I have like 60. I haven't used it for a while. I just message people directly that are already my connections. Or if you want the free version, because free version, I just signed up for LinkedIn Premium like a year ago. So free version I've been doing my whole career. And a way to hack the in-mail thing is to add someone in a connection, but instead of sending the default, I'd like to add you to my network, you can include something personal there, like why you want to add that person. And obviously, the more personal, the better, because you don't look like a robot at that point, just pushing connect button until your finger falls off. So, the person understands, okay, this person did some work to actually reach out to me. He's not just clicking buttons. So
Yeah.
that does work. That's the free way to go about it. So I would say don't do LinkedIn Premium until you've exhausted all the advantages of the free version, which you can do. I mean, people are not doing anyways, so I wouldn't worry about premium.
I think premium, yeah, it's better to wait too, like you're saying, Dan. One good thing about premium also is it helps you with like the job market. So it'll show you exactly, when you go apply to a job on LinkedIn, it'll show you exactly how many people have applied and where you sit in the ranking, which is
Ah,
nice.
good. I didn't know that.
Mhm. Yeah. So, when you get prepared, when you get your resume done, when you put in your hours of volunteering, when you're going up there and getting your experience in the oncology on site with Dan, and after all of that, then I would go and, if you want to mess with premium and you have the money to spend, at least do it for a month. It could be helpful.
Okay,
I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn's you definitely need to be on LinkedIn every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just spamming people, but actually communicating, providing some kind of value, commenting on other people's posts. That's a good way to get noticed also, is just look in your news feed and see what people are posting that's interest to you, and then comment about it. Because then people are going to interact with you, and now you're no longer a stranger. And remember, when you're starting out, any contact in the industry is a good contact to have.
Yes.
They're
Whether it
asking
be
me to share Victoria. Dan, can you please share Victoria's contact info? So Victoria will give her email out, I believe, and then I'll have anyone who wants it on Slack can just message me there, or I'll post it there when I post a replay. And she just posted it here, so I will put it. If you're in the comments, you'll get it, and then if you're watching the recording, it's in Slack. Okay, so I put it in Slack right now for everybody.
yeah, I'm more of a there's my cell phone number. I like to talk on the phone. It's just better for me. I'll email you, no problem. But I like to talk on the phone. And I
Wow,
don't have a problem with that.
you're the opposite of a millennial.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I take pride in that.
Very good.
But yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, here's some other pointers. And so when I started, so eventually, guys, you'll send out, let's just say 286 job applications. Okay, very minimum. Let's just say you get a call back, and they're like, "Hey, Robert, we want to interview you. When are you free?" And this is the secretary calling you, and you say, or emailing you, and you say, "Oh, that sounds great. I'm free on this day, this time. Y'all work it out. You get an interview." You cannot mess the interview up. You can, because it's really easy. I did it. Don't feel bad. Don't feel nervous. But you need to be prepared. And in doing so, it's kind of like going back to college, okay? It's like answering 100-question test. So what I recommend doing is, this is something you can work on today. Start making your interview practice questions. There's at least 100, at least a 50. You need have at least a 50, questionnaire. Put in the answers and then start practicing it and saying it out loud. And then ask your friend to help you. I'll even help you with your interview if we set it up and I have time. I'd love to help you guys. So this is something that gets hard, answering these interview questions. So make your questions, practice your answers. You want to make sure that you're quick when they ask you these questions and you're straight to the point. Another interview tip is to smile when you speak, because you can see it. You can hear it through the phone. Another thing is you can stand up as well, as long as you can make that work. But yeah, that's all I had. So are there any questions? Let's talk, guys.
Yeah, the standing up. Yeah, and please ask your questions or type them if you don't want to speak. But yeah, the interviews. I find it better, at least me, when I'm walking while talking, because like it gets my nervous energy out, right? So if you're just sitting there and they're grilling you, okay, one question after another. I mean, maybe it's just me, but all that pent up energy just kind of comes out like I'm nervous. And if I'm walking around, as long as it's quiet, but like even if it's in the house or in the office, if you're just pacing back and forth, I find that works better to relax me a little more, especially when I've had some of these interviews in the past. So actually, I think that's a really good advice, Victoria, and one that's not really talked about. I don't think I've ever heard someone recommend stand up during your interview, but it works.
And don't lie. That's another thing. Don't lie.
Ah, don't lie. You know what? That's probably the biggest one. So they can
Yeah, 'cause
find
it's
out.
so obvious.
They can find out. And another thing is when you guys start doing the remote monitoring or even the in-person monitoring in California, you're going to get that monitoring report. Matter of fact, it's in the book too, the Comprehensive Guide to Clinical Research, the book we wrote. So if you come to California, you get a copy of the book too. We have monitoring reports in there. You can use, I mean, that monitoring report is basically potential interview questions for a job. So if you look at it that way and not just looking at it as something you have to get done, but looking at that report as potential job interview questions, that's going to be really helpful because it's going to ensure that you have a deeper understanding of what you're talking about, and you got to know the context of everything too. It's not enough to just remember uh, terms and concepts. You have to understand how everything interacts with one another, how everything integrates. So that you only get through experience and through feedback from people in the academy during the internship, from networking. Everybody should go to SOCRA and ACRP meeting chapters. Those are for free. You could go some cities have them every month, some cities have them every quarter. That's probably something I should do more of. I don't really go to those things, but you should. Like if you're in the job market, you definitely should be going there. So, what have been your experiences with that, Victoria? Do you go to any of those things? ACRP, SOCRA, any of that?
So I joined. I should. I'm a chapter member. When I move to Dallas, I'll be closer. See, I'm here. I'm located right now in College Station, and the closest ones, I'm a part of the Austin chapter and Houston. I haven't made it to one yet because it's pretty far away. But yeah, I plan on doing that when I go to Houston. It's a little nerve wracking for me because I am newer, but I like to make friends, and if I just walk in there and smile and start meeting people and shaking their hand, it'll be great.
Oh yeah, you'll do great. I mean, people would love you, and you've got to go. Everybody's got to go. If you're seeking to increase your networking, I mean, that's a free place you can go to. You can be a member and pay, but you can go to the meetings for free. To the when they have free meetings, they have free meetups usually every month or every quarter. And then in between those, you can do the LinkedIn networking and going to conferences here and there. You just, if you want results, you have to put in the work. That's really what it boils down to. And go with for your first few interviews, you're going to be so nervous. Just go into the interview with the expectation that you're not going to get the job. That's going to
Yeah,
take all the pressure off of you. Go there with the mindset that this is just practice, right? Because you're going to be more comfortable. You're going to be learning what they're asking, and maybe even get lucky and get the job offer. Who knows? But you're going to be more relaxed, and you're going to in your head at least you're going to say, okay, this is just a learning opportunity. I don't think I don't expect to get this job offer. It's my first interview. But by your 10th, you'll be much more comfortable. You'll know some of the trick questions they ask. They ask a lot of trick questions in these interviews, like a lot. They don't even give you time to think. So that comes with experience also.
yes. One point to this too, Dan, is that say you apply to a job where you're not feeling the move. You don't want to move to Maine or New Jersey, but take that job interview anyways for the practice.
Ah, yes, I have. You know what? I have a story from a student from like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, I mean it was a while ago when she did the academy like in 2018, and she lived in Atlanta. And I gave her this exact same advice when she came for the internship. I said, apply everywhere, no matter where it is, apply. So she applied it to this place in North Dakota um, for a academic institution in North Dakota. Obviously, in a place like that, uh, they can't be picky about who they're job candidates are going to be, because not many people live there to begin with, and not many people want to live there. So her kids were done with school, they were out of the house, living on their own already. So she was like, you know what, I'll apply. She did it just to do the practice, but they offered her such a good salary and relocation fees, and she's still there. She's in North Dakota, probably already climbing the ladder there, and so who knows? And now she can go any state, right? Because now she has the experience. She can go back to Atlanta if she wants to, or she can stay there, or she can go anywhere, right? So yes, take it for the experience. Take it just to do the interview, but you never know. I mean, sometimes they'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
True. Very true. That's a very good point. Wow, South Dakota. That is a big move, because, I mean, what? People are like Eskimos there almost. It's freezing.
Yeah, you went from Atlanta to North Dakota. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I gotta actually follow up with her and see how she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Who has questions? Any kind of questions for Victoria? Maybe she can even help you with the final exam. Who knows? She can do a lot. So any questions? Either chat or speak. Otherwise, good luck to everybody.
yeah,
And
good luck, everyone. And don't ever give up on yourself. And don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you can.
absolutely. I mean, especially in a year like 2020. It's going to be another record-setting year for research. Hopefully, it's on track to do that. So this is a year where your return on your effort is gonna be well worth it. You have some years, I mean, look at 08, 09, 2010. A lot of you guys are way too young to remember that, but that's when I was out in the industry. Like, there was nothing, right? All these, like, LinkedIn was very underutilized. It's still underutilized now, but it was extremely underutilized back then. Nobody was hiring. There were no studies. Studies were ending. I mean, it was the inverse of what's going on now. So back then, you had to do like 1,000 of these applications. Today, you might only have to do 100 or 200, but the point is, your efforts should be rewarded if you do well in the interview and you demonstrate that you have a working knowledge the job that you're applying for. So uh, that's this is such a great year to get in the industry. I mean, it doesn't really get easier than it is now. Yes, we need the passion. You need the passion to move forward. You guys got this. Everyone should create a LinkedIn profile if you don't have, and everyone should add Victoria on there and send a nice personalized message. Uh, and then add me too. Add me too. I need more numbers.
Yeah, Dan, and for those of you listening, so I watch Dan a lot. I watch Dan a lot, especially starting out. I don't even know how I got a hold of your Guru Nation podcast, but they were awesome for me. I mean, the interview questions, just everything. Back, I think, to 2006, I was on your Google just watching all the videos. And I remember before having my interviews, I would be like, okay, I'm going to sit here and watch all of Dan's podcasts because it gave me inspiration. And then I finally started interacting with Dan, and then I got lucky to have that interview. So I don't know. Things work out. You just got to try.
You have to try. Thank you for that. You have to immerse yourself, okay? You have to brainwash yourself. Like right now, I'm in an academy right now. I'm learning about cryptocurrency. I'm learning about Bitcoin. So right now, outside of my working hours, I'm immersing myself in that world. Like, I'm going to sleep listening to podcasts. I'm watching videos. I'm taking courses. I'm doing like the CRA Academy version of Bitcoin. you have to immerse yourself with these things. It's like a new language, and there's other people having podcasts too, right? There's other clinical research podcasts out there. There's like another one that's consistent is ECRG, Elite Clinical Research Group. He has a um, videos and podcast, and then there's also a guy from AbbVie, which is one of the sponsors in the industry, who has a podcast. His is more polished, like he'll interview high level people at different pharmaceutical companies. But it doesn't matter. The point is whether it's my content or someone else's, you should be listening and consuming and watching all of it until you get hired, and then you'll just learn on the job as you go. But to stop, you just got to consume yourself with these things, and it will happen. You got to be obsessed with it.
Mhm.
So thank you, everybody, and thank you very much, Victoria. And we'll catch you all later, all right?
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody, and good luck. Go get 'em. Bye.